everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Manga Realization Samurai Spider-Man figure from Tamashii Nations and Bandai. Now this figure comes packaged in a rectangle shaped box. On the front you have an action pose of the figure and the name of the character down below. On the side you again just have the name, and then on the back of the packaging we have more images of the figure showing off various poses and accessories that come with it. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. So to open this, all you do is you just slide off the front cover of the box, and the figure is clearly displayed in this plastic tray along with all the accessories. On this side of the box you again just have the name of the character. You also get this little instruction sheet that shows you how the accessories work. It's written in a language that I really can't read, but you get some nice little pictures to show you how everything works. And here's a look at the figure fully out of the packaging along with all the other accessories that come with it. Now if you're not familiar with the Realization line from Tamashii Nations, this is something they first started doing with Star Wars characters, where they take a familiar character and they give it a samurai look and feel to it. So this is the first one we've gotten from Marvel, this Spider-Man figure, and you can see they've taken Spider-Man's traditional red and blue costume with the webbing and given it a samurai armor look to it. The figure comes with a number of different accessories, including 4 different pairs of hands. So we get a pair of web shooting hands with this one. Then we get a pair of grip hands. This one I would say is for holding the little web chain that he comes with. And then this one, these grip hands are more for holding the sword that he comes with. And then he has a pair of closed-fisted hands. Now all the hands have pretty nice detailing with the webbing, and this is sculpted on the hand. It's not just painted. And the webbing throughout the figure is done with this kind of greenish paint. And then you've got the red for the rest of the costume. But nice detailing. You've got some line work sculpted on the fingers and everything. Switching out the hands on this is pretty easy. You just pop off the hand you want to replace, and you've got the ball hinge joint on the arm and the little hole in the hand, and then you just plug in the hand you want to replace it with, and it should just pop right in like that. Now one thing I want to note is, first of all, I like the detailing on the hand because you can see this little goldish silver circle on the inner part of the open hands, and that's the little button I think he was supposed to push to activate his web shooters. And then also I just want to note that he has these web shooters on his wrist, and these are actually removable pieces, and you notice it's shaped like a spider. So you've got the black body with a little hole that's on the end of it for the web to shoot out of, and then the legs are brown and they wrap around the wrist. So those are actually removable pieces, which is again really nice detailing on the figure. For his actual webs, they've given you 2 webs, and these are actually chains, so they're not really webs, they're actually chains, grappled chains, in keeping with that kind of samurai look and feel. So these are about, they measure just, I would say, about 14.5 inches in length. And again, these are actual little chains, and on one end you have again the web shooter with the chain attached to it. So this is the same web shooter that was already on the wrist, so you get 2 different pairs of web shooters basically. And then on the other end you get this grapple hook, which is done with plastic, and it's a metallic silver type color. And then if you want to replace the web shooter, you just pull off the one and then slide on the one with the chain, and it should slide over, and then you just snap the hand back in. So now it looks like he's shooting his web / grapple hook. And then the final accessory you get with this figure is a sword. So the sword has a sheath, and the sheath is done with just a red plastic, and you can remove the sword. You've got some nice detailing on the handle of the sword. You've got this kind of a cream color pattern that's sculpted on there with the little spider, and then you've got some gold trim, metallic gold, and then the blade itself is done with a metallic silver looking paint. And then for the sheath, you can slide the sword in there and it fits in nice and tight. And then there's a place on the back, you've got a little peg on the back of the sheath, and there's a hole in the back of the figure, and you just push it in there and it fits nice and tight. So for the figure itself, you have some really nice sculpting detail throughout the figure with the webbing and everything that's sculpted. All of it is sculpted on the head here. The head is made to look like a samurai helmet, so I like that sculpting detail. You've got the little piece that hangs down the back over his neck, and this is done, you can see little slits between the 3, and this is done with a vinyl material, so it doesn't really limit the head movement as much. You've got the purple around the eyes and the white eyes, and I like how they've sculpted the indentation of the mouth here on the mask. I think that looks good. And then he's got this little piece that hangs down from his chin that's again done with a vinyl type material. I like the chest piece. It looks like an armored plate, and I like the sculpting detail with the webbing. And then you've got the spider symbol sculpted on there and painted black, so that looks good. He's got these shoulder pads which are articulated. You've got a darker blue color on the arms, and then like here on the back he's got a lighter blue color again, and it's made to sculpt it look like an armor plate of some type. And you've got the black spider sculpted on there. The holes for the sword, as I mentioned before. He's got this green belt. On the front of the belt is attached is a knife. Now the knife isn't removable, but the sculpting detail again is nice, like on the sword. You've got that cream color rough pattern with the spider sculpted on there with the gold trim. And then this bottom piece is an actual separate piece. If you pop the top of the figure off, you could actually remove this kind of skirt piece, again done with that vinyl material, and you've got the webbing sculpted on there. And then the underside of it is a darker blue color, again with the vinyl material. And then he's got the puffy pants legs, nice sculpting detail on that. And then he's got the boots again with the red and the green webbing, so that all looks really good. And then on the arms, he's got these wrist guards with a wash effect. You've got this little brown wrapping. And then I mentioned the web shooters before, and the detailing on the hands and everything. So this figure stands just under 7 1/4 inches tall. And then here's a comparison with the Star Wars movie realization Darth Vader figure and Stormtrooper figure. Articulation is good on the figure. You can turn the head to the left and to the right. He can look down a little bit, and he can look back pretty good. The neck moves at the lower part and the upper part of the neck, and then this little piece that comes down from his chin is also articulated. So again, you've got good movement. You can pivot the head to the left and the right as well. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, so you can get his arm out good. As I mentioned before, these shoulder pads are articulated, so they don't limit too much of the arm movement. And you've got a little bit, looks like a inner and outer movement there within the shoulder joint, so you've got some back and forth movement there. You've got a bicep swivel. You've got a double hinged elbow, so you've got a hinge joint on the upper part of the elbow and a hinge joint on the lower part of the elbow, and you've got rotation on the upper part of the elbow and on the lower part of the elbow, so good bending there at the elbow and good movement. You've got the rotation at the wrist, and then you've got the hinges on the hands, so good up and down movement with the hands. You have the upper body is attached with the ball joint to the lower body, so you've got rotation there, and you got a little bit of crunch there, and you can look back a little bit, but you'll end up popping that ball joint off if you're not careful. And then it can be kind of a pain to pop it back on because you got the skirt piece, and then you'll end up popping off like the leg here and everything. So just be wary of that. Most of these joints are all attached with little ball joints, so again, just be wary of that. You've got so the legs are attached with ball joints, so you can do the splits good, and you've got that inner rotation up there where the leg meets the waist piece, and then you can get the leg forward pretty good, and you can do the leg kind of out and back. You've got, again, like with the elbows, you've got the double hinges on the elbow or on the knees, so you've got a rotation above the knee and below the knee, and you've got good bending there at the knee. And then for the feet, you've got the hinge joint, so he's got up and down movement, he's got pivot and rotation, and then he has toe articulation as well, and no peg holes on the bottom of the feet. So that's my review. Overall, I would say this is a really nice looking figure. The sculpting detail is really nice. You get some pretty cool accessories, and the paint applications and articulation are really good on it as well. So the big question comes down to, are you really interested in getting a version of Spider-Man in a samurai type armor? If the answer is yes, then I think this is one you'll definitely want to add to your collection. Now this figure is available online at places like Big Bad Toy Store. We'll have a full image gallery up at marvelousnews.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.